What's happening, everybody? Teddy Pay here, and welcome to another stream of mine. Today we'll be going through the match that I play in the quick match setting, and let's get through the team analysis right now. In the blue team, we have Sylvanas, Nova, Karazim, Anumarak, and Abatar, while in the red team, we have Vala, Muradin, Artanis, Malfurion, and Nova. We'll jump right through to the team analysis right now. It seems that in terms of advantage, we can say that the red team has a more of an advantage in the sense that there's going to be a consistent DPS with Vala, who is able to keep up the DPS without a lot of burst damage. If you compare Vala and Nova, Nova will be able to only at most clean up. There are Novas on both sides of the team, and the DPS will be relying for the blue team. The DPS will rely on Sylvanas to be able to churn out the arrows to apply the constant DPS. So this will have to we have to make sure that Sylvanas must be present in most of the team fights and not separately pushing lanes down. One of the most key important factors will be the two tanks of the red team, Muradin and Artanis, who have to participate actively in crowd control, while we rely on the DPS like Vala and Nova to take down the enemy's heroes, especially those with very low HP like Sylvanas and Karazim and Nova. For the blue team, for them to win, they will need to ensure that their crowd control is excellent, and we have that crowd control capabilities with Anumarak, who has excellent crowd control abilities, and Karazim to keep Anumarak alive. So we have Karazim, we have Abatar Shield, who can hopefully contribute to the team fight as much as possible. Sylvanas has to ensure that her DPS output is as consistent and as high as possible, while the blue team's Nova has to try her best to clean up. And so without further ado, let's go to the game right now. So this will take off. The map will be at the Sky Temple, and of course, when we look at the objectives, the heroes have to do their best to be able to capture the objectives so as to damage the enemy's forts. And of course, this once again, when we are looking at controlling temples, crowd control capabilities are going to be very important, and this leads to the important heroes who have very strong crowd control abilities. So we're looking at red team's Muradin and hopefully the red team's Artanis Orbital Beam, who will be able to zoom out a single hero. And we'll look at the blue team's Anumarak, who has the important Impale and the Burrow Strike to be able to stun enemy heroes, basically making it a stun city. So we have the blue team on the left side, we have the red team on the right side, and it seems that most of the heroes are going to the middle lane. It looks like they're going to be fighting for the middle waypoint here, which is what most of the pub games usually do. Actually, most of the games will do when it comes to this game.
Let your battle begin.
And here we go. We have Nova and Anumarak going for the middle waypoint. So it seems we have the red teams Malfurion, Muradin, and Artanis and Nova going for the middle waypoint. Malfurion comes in with entangling groups, trying best to zone out the enemy's hero as much as possible. Artanis comes from behind, going for the twin blade strike, trying to keep out the heroes. Blue team's Sylvanas comes in, but unfortunately gets stunned. Will be almost taken out, but unfortunately managed to wage out a way out of there. So, and then the blue team's Anumarak gets taken down with a huge amount of burst damage, and of course Muradin's stun. So let's look at the talents that they've picked. Sylvanas goes for the Lost Soul, reduce the cooldown of Shadow Dagger by the 2 seconds, which is a very interesting choice. After all, most Sylvanas usually goes for the one that increases the radius of her shots. Nova goes for Ambush Knight. Karazim Transcendence, Anumarak Extended Spikes, and Abatar Pressurized Glance. Vala goes for Rancor, Muradin goes for Reverberation, Artanis Reactive Parry, Malfurion Shando's Clarity, and another Ambush Strike for the other Nova. Pretty standard build so far, except for Sylvanas, who went for Lost Souls instead of the one that increases the radius of her arrows. So it seems that she might be going for lane harassment more than DPS, which let's see how that will play out. And so the towers are going to spawn right now, and they're both in the top and in the middle lane, and the heroes will be trying to contest for these towers right now. So the red team will be able to take out the enemy's team, both Anumarak and Karazim, and we easily managed to take the middle red tower. The blue team will be actually easily trying to get the top blue tower with only Nova to compete. So Nova will have to try to harass the enemy's hero, but with 3 heroes, especially with Abathur's support and blades, it will be proved difficult for the red team's Nova to try to take the top tower. But nonetheless, the red team shouldn't be greedy. They already have the middle tower, and they're actually doing quite a lot of damage on the forts. But the blue team is actually going to retreat and allowing the red team to actually take a lot of the bullets of the tower. But the blue team comes in, and Anumarak does this very efficient crowd control. Red team's Malfurion and Nova has no choice but to retreat, and the blue team will be able to easily take the top blue tower as of now. The red team has finished the middle tower. They will be rotating upwards to try to take down the blue team's enemy heroes, and the blue team is still very effectively zoning out. Artanis and Malfurion has very low HP, but they still managed to take down the very low HP blue team's Nova, and blue team is actually facing a 5-on-3 situation. They have quite a big disadvantage, but still nonetheless, they managed to take down the red team's Artanis, but the blue team is almost going to be wiped out, except for Abathur, who is hiding behind enemy's lines, and red team will be surprisingly manage to take down the top tower to deal a lot of damage to the blue team's forts. So definitely a very well played for red team. They managed to secure both of the towers and still be able to regain momentum and go for the bruiser camps. So the red team is going to be a very favorable lead. Both teams have their level 4 talents. Ranger's Ambush, Gathering Power, Healing Ward, Under the King, and Adrenal Overload, Vampiric Assault for Vala, Thunder Burn, Lethal Alacrity, Rampant Growth, and Remote Delivery for all each respective hero's talents. I know Barak actually jumps in to the mercenary camps, trying to at least capture and take down, but he absolutely had no idea that there was going to be 4 heroes there and will be easily taken out. One of a big misplay for Anumarak's part. So, and the blue team will be attempting to take down the siege camp so as to try to regain a bit of momentum, and they actually managed to do it really easily. Red team now has a bit of an advantage. They have reached the level 7 talents. Piercing Bolt for Muradin, Psionic Energy for Artanis, Repeating Arrow for Vala, Enduring Growth for Malfurion, and 1 in the chamber with Nova. Pretty standard build so far all around. Vala has the ability to have very flexible talent pools, and she has managed to pick a bit more consistent DPS with Repeating Arrow, which allows her to consistently cast her Hungry Arrow with her bolts. So red team will be able to take down the siege camp, allowing them to work on their side. It's jumped right into the fray, trying to take down the red team as much as possible. But with the very efficient crowd control of Muradin, who's able to use his Thunderclap, especially with the Reverberating Strike, he will be able to push the blue team back. Blue team will have no choice but to retreat. Staying there they'll be dealt a lot of damage. But Karazim and blue team Sylvanas is being very aggressive, trying to go for red team's Muradin, trying to do as much damage to him, and especially with Sylvanas' escape mechanism, will be able to do damage and still stay herself out of harm's way. And it looks like the new tower is going to be spawning. It's going, and just nice, all the teams are there. Red team easily taking down the blue team's Karazim because he was absolutely out of place. With blue team without any support, it is definitely a very disadvantageous situation to be there and deal consistent amount of damage. But red team with Malfurion's healing will be able to heal Artanis and keep him at full health. But red team's Vala will be taken down with Nova's illusion, but Nova gets taken out in the process as well. Anumarak comes in trying to do crowd control, but is trapped by Malfurion's entangling roots and will be taken down. The blue team Sylvanas jumps in, but will be stunned by Muradin, a very excellent stun by Muradin, and will be taken down as well. Red team has almost zero competition for the bottom fort. Red team, knowing this, will be trying their best to soak as much EXP from the bottom lane and still trying to capture the fort. Definitely a very well play for the red team so far. Red team is in the lead, will be hitting their level 10 soon, and will be able to have a power spike at level 10 as well. And as mentioned, it's really easy for them to capture all the bullets of the fort, and will be able to do a lot of damage to the blue team's fort as well. So, as seen, red team has managed to get the level 10 talents with Strength for Vala, Avatar for Muradin, Purifier Beam for Artanis, Tranquility for Malfurion, and Triple Tap from Nova instead of the Precision Strike. And here's me telling them Triple Tap is good and OP, convincing him to take Triple Tap. That was more of an inside joke. So nonetheless, we can see that the red team is going to rotate up to the top lane. Will be trying to gank Karazim, who's alone without any support. With 4 red team heroes, Karazim has very little chance for escape, and will be taken down by the red team as well. But with Abatas, firstly the blue team has already added their level 10 talents: Wailing Arrow, Precision Strike, 7-sided Strike, Locust Swarm, and the Evolved Monstrosity that we can see here right now. So both the Evolved Monstrosity and Sylvanas will be very easily taking down the red team's forts. Red team's Nova comes in, tries to take down the Monstrosity as fast as possible, but Monstrosity has already been doing a lot of damage. Malfurion comes in to join in the red team's defense on the bottom lane. And blue team will be going for the siege camp and will be successfully taking it. Red team going for their own siege camp and will try to take it as well. Red team and blue team also going for the bruiser camp. So with a more or less a stalemate right now, they are both going for each of their mercenary camps to ensure that it will be fairly even on both sides. Sylvanas taken a huge onslaught, huge damage from the red team's Muradin and Artanis, but still manages to get out of harm's way as fast as possible. And now the 2 towers are up both on the extreme ends of the map, on the top and on the bottom. So it is definitely a very tactical maneuver for both teams to see where are they going to go for. So it seems that the blue team is going to try for the top tower, while the red team will try for the bottom tower. Still roughly a stalemate situation on both sides. But however, the red team's Muradin comes in, trying to harass them and ensure that they may not be able to get all the bullets for the top tower, while the red team, with almost without any opposition, is going for the bottom tower right now. Red team's Muradin probably trying to ping for help, but is in very big danger himself. If Anumarak manages to land his stun or his bow strike, Muradin will be taken down by the enemy team's Nova. Anumarak missing both his stuns, but with Muradin's Avatar, he'll be in a very safe HP pool. Nova trying to do as much damage, but unfortunately, as mentioned in the analysis, her consistency in damage is going to be weak. Muradin manages to take down with a Thunderclap strike on Anumarak, dealing a lot of damage and taking him down in the process. But however, both towers on both teams has been taken, each for each respective team, and it seems like it is still relatively quite a stalemate apart from the level difference. And 7-sided strike from Karazim won't be able to do a lot of damage. Karazim has to move away and is taken down from the onslaught of the entire red team right there. Blue team has no choice but to retreat. After all, they are consistently fighting in a 4v5 situation, and while red team has to defend their fort from the mercenary creeps from the blue team, while the blue team has to do the same thing for their siege camp at the bottom lane. Still a very stalemate situation, a very relatively slow moving match, but after all, this is like again a game of chess. Anumarak definitely came in at the wrong time there, and is unfortunately taken down by the sheer might of Muradin. Muradin of the red team playing very well, positioning himself in very relevant and correct places, and will be to deal a lot of pressure to the blue team. The level 13 talent has been picked. Evasive Fire for Sylvanas, Lethal Decoy, Nova, Spell Shield, and Soma Transference. Tempered by Discipline from Vala. Very interesting talent build there. Thunder Strike, Triple Strike, Life Seed, and Lethal Decoy for each of the talent builds. So the both blue teams, Nova and Sylvanas, has been taken out. They are, after all, very low HP. Malfurion going to be taken down by but he'll be taken down by Anumarak's Beetles. Very strong Beetles there. The beam comes in, taking down blue team's Anumarak and also taking down the blue team's Karazim. It is definitely a near team wipe with Abater still behind the enemy's front line. This is a very bad timing for blue team to be taken out because the tower will be spawning very soon in the middle lane. Abater not trying to lose hits, not trying to lose the momentum, goes for the Evolved Monstrosity at the top lane. Will be able to push in quite decently, probably even managing to deal heavy damage to the red team's forts. But the red team ignoring that, will be going for the tower, will be trying to capture the tower to deal damage back to the blue team's forts, especially the top lane's fort will be easily taken down. So you see red team's Nova looking for the blue team's Nova. Blue team's Nova luckily gets down there as fast as possible. Blue team going in for the kill now, surrounding the red team with Anubarak's Burrow Strike, stunning them with a very good Wailing Arrow silence. Red team will be silenced out, they have to retreat, they can't be able to use the skills. Red team's Vala has been taken out, red team's Artanis has been taken out, with one casualty from the blue team side. Red team will have losing their major tank and DPS. Red team's Nova is taken down as well. A very good comeback from the blue team. Red team has almost zero capabilities of trying to go for the red team's, for going for the blue team's middle tower. I know Malfurion pops the Tranquility, but since I actually played this game, that was actually a misclick on my part. So blue team will be able to take the middle tower and deal a lot of damage, which is pretty surprising, but after all, Anobarak did manage to crowd control very well. So as mentioned again in the team analysis, the key vital victory point for the blue team will be for Anobarak to be able to crowd control really well, and for Sylvanas to actually follow up with a silence. When this window of opportunity arises, it is up to Sylvanas and Nova to deal a lot of damage to the red teams during this period of silence and stun. So it's really unfortunate that the blue team's Arbiter didn't really add his other ultimate that allows him to spawn another hero, so he can effectively spawn another Sylvanas or another Nova to deal damage when this period of opportunity comes up. So red team is stuck in a very precarious situation. Malfurion will be taken down because of going the other way. The red team's heroes are silenced. Vala has to retreat as fast as possible, but blue team Sylvanas comes in at a very wrong time. But Muradin actually has to jump out because of very low HP, getting dealt a lot of damage. Vala is intercepted by the blue team's Anubarak and has no choice but to retreat. Will be taken down, slowly taken down by Anubarak's auto attack. Red team has very low HP on Malfurion. Will have to push the blue team away, but blue team with a very healthy HP pool seems to be a very overwhelming advantage, especially in a 4v3 situation. And it's really unfortunate that the red team's Vala couldn't go because he was intercepted by the blue team's Anubarak. And this is another very bad situation for the red team's hero to be taken down, because the towers are going to be spawning soon. They have to try to go for the towers to deal as much damage to the fort as much as possible. So you can see that the red team has decided on which tower to go for. They are trying to secure the tower on the bottom lane, and blue team's Anubarak there to try to effectively do crowd control. Nova can deal a bit of damage to the red team's Artanis with a precision strike, taking down Artanis, bringing him to a very low HP. But the Malfurion's heal will be able to preserve Artanis' health and keep him within the safe range, so he won't get sniped down by Nova. So blue team Sylvana at the middle tower dealing damage there, while the rest of the blue team looks like they are attempting to sort of wrestle away the red team's tower at the bottom there. Kazin dashes in, dealing damage to the red team's Artanis. He's probably missing, he's probably not attacking the correct hero. Artanis has, after all, a very high HP pool. He is a tank character. That's right, he has to take down the red team's Nova so that Artanis won't be able to do that much damage. So both blue teams Nova and Karazim will be able to take down take the middle lane, and the red team's Muradin jumps into the top tower looking for a single opportunity to get the blue tower away from them. But the red team comes in now for a counter attack. Karazim, Vala popping her ultimate, her strafe is dealing a lot of damage to the Karazim. Karazim trying to keep Nova alive by actually being a decoy, but Vala going for Nova, but won't be able to take down Nova. Karazim, being a very selfless decoy, manages to keep Nova alive by staying there and trying his best to get as much tower bullets as much as possible. So now they've hit their level 16 talents right now. Co-Embrace, Crippling Shot, Blinding Speed, Epicenter, and Venom Spikes, with Stone Skin for Vala trying to increase her HP pool, Stone Form, Zealot Charge, Tenacious Roots, and Double Fake. So now it seems that the red team is going for the boss right now, and the blue team have already noticed it with Anobarak and blue team's Nova noticing that, calling for reinforcements. Sylvanas comes in to join the fray. Red team going on very low life, especially Muradin, one of the key tanks, won't be able to take, is losing a lot of life. Malfurion getting zoned out by the tornado, won't be able to try to heal won't be able to heal his allied team Muradin. Both Malfurion and Artanis will be taken down. Malfurion with the Avada form comes in to take down the blue team's Nova, and the Kara team is needed right now. Red team going for the Strath. Anobarak still in a very healthy range. He has the possibility to clean up. Malfurion, Muradin with the healing will be able to bring himself up to full HP, and with the zoning capabilities, he might be able to survive. With the red team's Vala very low HP, Karazim going for the seven-sided strike, missing, but still able to take down the red team's Vala. Right now, red team's Muradin is the only one right there right now. He won't be able to take the boss on his own for sure, but the blue team is doing a very good job with a counter attack, wrestling the boss away from the red team. Both teams will not be able to get the boss either way, but it is a very good play on the blue team's part because it disabled the boss. It didn't allow the red team to get the boss for them. So now it's going to be a very interesting situation. Both towers are going to be up in the middle and the top lane. Only one hero is there on both teams, but the heroes are spawning. Artanis and Malfurion is out. They have to get to towers as fast as possible. The blue team has already captured the middle tower, but the red team, 3 heroes coming in to push Karazim away. Blue team's Nova probably coming in to wrestle the middle tower away from the red team. Sets in a decoy and tries to stop the red team from getting them, but of course with to no avail. Malfurion is there to preserve the HP of himself and his teammates. So Karazim comes in together with Sylvanas to take the top tower to deal damage as well. Evolve Monstrosity now comes in. If the red team is going to defend themselves on the Monstrosity, they're going to lose firepower to wrestle the towers away, to contest the towers. But red team's Vala will be occupying herself for the Monstrosity. This is blue team's absolute chance to deal as much damage to the blue team as much as possible to get the tower with the triple tap, but interrupted by Malfurion goes for his ultimate to heal his teammates, but will be very shortly taken down. A lot of heals, won't be able to take down. Red team has to move away right now with a very well-timed precision strike. Vala and Muradin very low HP, they have to retreat. Artanis comes in to try to wrestle the towers, try to clean up as much as possible, and manages to take down the blue team's Sylvanas for them. Red team's Vala at a very low HP, but still shooting, trying to deal damage to Abata, to the enemy team's Anobarak, not Abata, and won't be able to take it down. With 2 down and 1 down, it's actually a 3v4 situation, but it's a very well played on the blue team for actually managing to capture the towers as well. Definitely a very well played by the blue team's Abata, who actually sent in his evolved Monstrosity, and the red team, one of the heroes, has to choose whether to defend from the Monstrosity or to actually assist in the tower contest. Red team's Vala had to go for and defend the Monstrosity, and this resulted in a lack of firepower, especially when contesting for the towers at the top lane. And as I mentioned just now in the team analysis, red team's victory really depends if Vala will be able to deal out consistent amount of DPS to take down especially the very low HP heroes on the blue team, such as Nova and Sylvanas. And without Vala, for a short window of opportunity, blue team was able to deal a lot of damage to take down a few heroes and still managed to secure some of the tower's bullets. Definitely very well played on both teams' part, especially the blue team. So red team now doesn't want to lose momentum. Again, try to go for the boss. Blue team knows this. The entire army is going for the red team. It seems that it's going to be very difficult for the red team to take down both the boss, trying to preserve his HP. Malfurion tries his best to do his healing, goes for the Storm Shield, and won't be able to take down. Malfurion taken down by the boss stun. Red team has no more healing capabilities. Their HP won't be able to sustain. They take down Anumarang, and then with the orbital beam coming down, he's going to zone out Sylvanas. One of the major DPS is going down. Precision strike dealing a huge amount of AoE damage. Red team's Nova and Vala and Artanis are very low HP. Artanis will be shortly being taken down with the Karazim, with the Nova, and it's a huge clear for the red team, taking down 3 of the enemy heroes. And Artanis and Nova and Vala has very low HP. They probably have to defend. Sylvanas is still in a very healthy HP pool. Will be able trying to take down but it's stunned. A very well-timed stun from Muradin will be taking down the blue team's Sylvanas. Blue team almost wiped out with the Abatur staying behind enemy's line. A very well played. This is a very strong opportunity for the red team to take actually both the towers and deal a lot of damage. Abatur trying to use his evolved monstrosity to push the top lane. He's done a very good job at pushing the top lane. He has already taken down both the cores. There's already going to be siege units coming down on the red team's core. Red team's top is actually very bare, but red team will be able to capture the forts, both towers, and will be able to deal a lot of damage. The middle and the bottom lane for the blue team has already been cleared out. It's only left the top lane. If red team manages to capture just 2 more forts in the next tower, blue team is in huge dire trouble. And so blue team's Anubarak comes in to try to wrestle the towers away from the red team, and with reinforcements in the form of Nova and Karazim, he comes into crowd control. He manages to land in stun with the precision strike to deal a lot of heavy damage. 7-sided strike to deal a heavy amount of AoE damage. Abatur will be taken down. Everyone pops his ultimate a bit too late. He won't be able to save Artanis, a key tank and damage dealer. But with the red team, he's still relatively sustained. Raining arrow hits. Vala and Muradin is silenced. Mafua shortly won't be able to do his stun. Karazim comes in with the Mafua misses his entangling roots, and Karazim is taken down. Two blue teams heroes are down at the moment. Sylvanas running away from the beam just now. Like I said, one of the key important factors is Sylvanas hopefully able to deal a consistent amount of DPS, but he moves away, and therefore the red team won't be able to sustain a lot of damage. However, the blue team had very well timed AoE damages just now. Very well placed waiting arrow shot, very well placed stuns from Anubarak, and it seems that all of the skill shots missed on the red team. Sylvanas will not be able to survive a very well aimed snipe from Nova. Will be able to take Sylvanas down. Anubarak comes in, tries to save the Sylvanas, and will be almost taken down. Huge HP pool, no problem at Anubarak's part, but the top fort is taken down. Blue team's core is exposed with only 53% of the health. All it needs is just one more tower for the blue team to actually call it quits. Red team doing a very good job. Blue team has a very well timed initiation, very well timed placed ultis. The ultimates are usually very well placed. It's just that the blue team's follow-up is not strong at all. Like I said, the DPS is not consistent. They need a very consistent DPS, and only one hero, Sylvanas, can do that. As long as the red team, especially Artanis, uses the beam to zone Sylvanas out, blue teams effectively loses their firepower. The well-timed shots are effectively useless. So once again, it manages to stun and a very well-timed precision strike, but everyone with his ultimate will be able to keep most of his teammates alive. Blue team's hero will be taken down. Both Karazim and the Anubarak is taken down as well. Mafion's stun definitely played a huge part there to keep the enemy team alive. To keep his own friendly team alive. So let's look at the level 20 talents. I didn't go through that. We have Bolt of the Storm, Precision, Barrage, Storm Shield, Hardened Shield, and Hive Mind. And we have Nexus Frenzy, Hardened Shield, Target Purified, Storm Shield, and Fast Reload. But after all, the temples are out. Red team will finally be able to take the boss. This is actually the first boss out of the entire match. Red team has actually tried to take the boss, but blue team has usually managed to intercept the boss very efficiently. But now red team will be able to take the bottom tower. There are no blue team heroes going for the bottom tower, and even if blue team manages to send all their units to come and wrestle away the bottom red tower, the boss will be able to do a lot of damage to the blue team's tower. But nonetheless, this is GG. The tower will be able to destroy the blue team's core. It is almost impossible. They're not even close to the bottom tower, and this is game. But definitely, I have to say, one of the as long as blue team had probably, if for example he substituted Abatur for more consistent DPS like Vala, the match would definitely be very different. And red team won't have such won't be losing a lot of the team fights. After all, we can see that Anubarak does a lot of stun, very well timed stun, and with a precision strike and with a wailing arrow, red team has very little chance to counter attack. So in terms of the synergy that I've seen in this match, it seems like the blue team could have actually deal a lot of damage during team fights, but of course without proper follow up, it seems like they fall short. Well, that's the end of this stream. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening for a good 30 minutes for my stream, and I hope to see you all again.